Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Karen.
And I'm Kiki, and today we are looking at part B of Grammar Station. Today we are talking about bad service, and if you've experienced bad service, you might want to write a letter. Or Karen, have you ever experienced bad service, and how did you want to tell the person that they weren't being too friendly?
Well, to be honest, of course, everyone has experienced bad service, if you go to restaurants or go to different places. But usually, I wouldn't say anything unless it's really, really bad, But I think it's still important to address it so they can still improve, If I can tell the manager what happened and then what kind of bad service, what kind of bad experience I had, I think I'm also helping the restaurant or helping the place get better as well. How about you, Kiki? Are you the type of person that will speak up when you have, bad service from a place?
Yeah, I definitely am, because I do believe that sometimes, and in general, Karen, you and I, we're both really friendly people.
Of course.
So when somebody is being a little mean or not nice, I think both of us, we would try to tell them nicely.
That's right.
And we might not want something back. We just want them to be aware that that is what they're doing. And I think that a lot of times, if somebody is giving you bad service, it's okay to tell them. If you tell them nicely and remain calm and not rude, there's still nice ways to deal with a situation like this, right?
Exactly. And then it could be a positive outcome. It could lead to something great. They can improve. So next time, other people don't have to experience the bad service, right? But oftentimes, when some people experience bad service, maybe the first reaction is to fight, to argue, or to, speak up, but in a really angry way, which I can understand, because sometimes you do feel bad, right?
But there are also people that don't feel as comfortable confronting or talking to somebody up front about the experience they just had. So they might write a letter.
That's a great idea as well. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. Let's get into it.
Dear Sir or Madam, my name is Jordan Ramsey. My family and I are regular customers at your restaurant. We love your fast and friendly service. However, we didn't get that last Saturday.
So today we are looking at part B of our grammar station, and it's called bad service. And like we said, it's a letter addressing to a place, right? I believe it's a restaurant.
Okay, so somebody has experienced some bad service and they want to address this, and they are writing a letter. And of course, they start off the letter by saying, Dear Sir or Madam, because they're not sure who they are writing this letter to, because they might be writing the letter to the restaurant and they don't know who to address it to. So they will say sir or madam, because it could be either a man or a woman reading this letter. Now, sometimes you might also see someone address a letter like this by saying to whom it may concern. So that means to somebody that might care about the contents of this letter, and that is how they are addressing somebody they do not know who they are writing to. So here, our author starts off by saying, Dear Sir or Madam, and then they say who they are. My name is Jordan Ramsey. My family and I are regular customers at your restaurant. So Jordan and their family, they like to eat at this restaurant. They go there often. They are regular customers.
That's right. So they are regular customers. So maybe they have experienced something that is a little bit different, right? And then the letter continues. We love your fast and friendly service. However, we didn't get that last Saturday. Okay, well, I think Jordan is actually quite nice because first he compliments the restaurants that we actually like your friendly service. We come here all the time and you guys are really, really fast. When you are about to talk about a problem with someone, usually complimenting them or saying something good about them is a great start. Everybody said, however, we didn't get that last Saturday. Okay, so they didn't get the friendliness that they used to get. So what does it mean by being friendly? So that's an adjective. So being friendly means acting nice, kind, and pleasant, making others feel welcome and happy, like a warm smile from someone new or a helpful neighbor. Like Kiki and I are both very friendly, right? Yeah. Okay, an example sentence would be, the new kid was so friendly. He asked me to play at recess. So recess means break time. So he asked me to play together. He's so friendly. You make people feel good when you are friendly. Let's go over to Tina first and we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Tina. 今天这封信的主题是Bad service, 服务不佳。Jordan 写信给一家餐厅，他说他们一家都是这间餐厅的常客，很喜欢餐厅快速又亲切的服务。但是上周六他们并没有得到如往常的服务哦。怎么了呢？发生了什么事情呢？我们先来看看单字 friendly 形容词，友善的、亲切的。The staff at the restaurant are very friendly and helpful. 餐厅的员工非常友善且乐于帮助。Staff 指的就是全体员工职员。那接着我们回到课文当中，看看 Jordan 觉得服务不好的原因是什么。
Thanks, Tina. So we've seen our letter writer, our author, Jordan Ramsey. They are writing to a restaurant that they go to often. They are regular customers at, and they usually are really happy with their friendly service, but they're addressing a problem that they've experienced, which is that they didn't get that type of service from the restaurant this last time they came, so they are letting the restaurant know. All right, let's go over the second part of the article and we'll be right back.
When our waiter showed us to our table, he was quite rude. Then he wasn't very patient when he took our order. We never experienced that kind of treatment before. Maybe you could talk to your waiters and ask them to be more careful. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Sincerely, Jordan Ramsey.
Welcome back, everyone. So before the break, we were looking at this letter. Jordan Ramsey is writing to a restaurant. And this restaurant is a place that they go to on a regular basis. They are regular customers. Usually this restaurant provides fast and friendly service, but for some reason, last Saturday was not the case. And so they're going to tell the restaurant what happened last Saturday. So the letter continues. When our waiter showed us to our table, he was quite rude. Okay, this is not something that you want to get when you go to a restaurant. So the waiter is someone who waits your table, takes your orders, brings food to your table. So when the waiter showed us to our table, he was quite rude. So rude just means he wasn't being very polite. Maybe he wasn't, saying nice things, or his attitude in general was just not kind.
And I think when you and your family go out to a restaurant, even if it's not a special occasion, or in some cases it is, when the person that is helping you with your dinner, serving you your food, when they're not being very nice, it makes your whole experience feel pretty bad.
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's continue and see what Jordan says. Jordan says, then he wasn't very patient when he took our order. So not only was the waiter being rude, he wasn't being very patient either. So here we have the adjective patient, and we are using this to describe someone that is not very friendly when they are faced with a certain situation. They are getting very agitated or very frustrated or stressed out when there are certain things that might be delaying something. So, for example, usually when we say you have to wait patiently for your snacks, do your homework and be patient before I give you something, we're asking somebody to be nice, to wait patiently and calmly. But when you're not being patient, you might get angry or frustrated when you're dealt with something different or something sudden, right?
Exactly. And then, to treat a customer with that kind of attitude is never the right thing to do, right? Because you want the customers to have a good experience at your restaurant, right?
Right. Because maybe they're still looking at the menu and they're not sure, and this happens to me a lot, right? I look at this French fries. I love French fries, but I also love mashed potatoes. And, how do I decide? And that might take a little more time, but the waiter might think, they're wasting my time. I need to get going, and they're not being patient.
Exactly, and that's not the right attitude for waiters, right? Okay, we're also looking at this phrase, A takes B's order. So we're talking about the waiter taking your order. So when a waiter is taking an order, it means that they are listening to the customers and writing down what food and drinks they want to eat. So an example sentence would be, the friendly waiter came to our table to take our order for pizza and juice. And when you have a friendly waiter, that makes your whole experience wonderful. And it makes you want to come back to the restaurant again. And now the letter continues. We never experienced that kind of treatment before. And I think, before, when they went to the restaurant, they were always very friendly. It was always really fast. So it might be just that one waiter, right?
That's right. And I don't know, maybe that waiter wasn't feeling well that day. Maybe they're nice in general, and just that one day they were feeling upset. But that's still no way to treat your customers. Okay, let's go to Tina first. We'll be right back.
原来啊，当服务生为 Jordan 他们一家代位时，这位服务生相当没礼貌。之后帮他们点餐时，他也很不耐烦。Jordan 说他们之前从没有受过这样的对待。课文当中提到这个单字 patient 形容词指的就是有耐心的。My teacher is patient when explaining difficult grammar. 我的老师在解释困难的文法时很有耐心。Grammar 指的就是文法。这里还有两个文法重点。A shows B to place. A 带 B 到某地。Show 在这里指的是带路引领。比如说 The receptionist showed the guests to their rooms. 接待员带客人到他们的房间。Receptionist 指的就是接待员。A takes B's order. A 为 B 点餐。Order 在这里是餐点的意思。比如说 The waiter took our order and brought water to the table. 服务生为我们点餐，并在桌上放了水。接着我们回到课文当中。
Thank you, Tina. And now the letter continues. Maybe you could talk to your waiters and ask them to be more careful. Okay, I think this is a very polite way to address this problem, right? Because the writer, Jordan Ramsey, is suggesting, just giving an advice to maybe the restaurant or the manager. This is maybe what you can do. Maybe you can talk to your waiter to be a little more careful and look at the way how he treats the customers, right?
That's right. And I think this is also a polite way for Jordan to let the restaurant manager or whoever is reading this letter know what they're expecting the restaurant to do to take care of the problem that they have experienced. Okay, they continue by saying, thank you for your attention to this matter. So they're getting ready to sign off the letter. And of course, they want to thank the person that is reading the letter. Even though they've had a bad experience, they're still trying to be polite and they still want the person reading the letter to feel good so that they might be able to help deal with the situation that they just had. So here we have this word attention, and it is a noun. And usually when we talk about attention, we are talking about somebody's full focus on a topic or on a matter. So you have your whole mind set on something and you are looking at this thing and you are trying to deal with it or figure it out and actually do the things that need to be done to help the matter, okay? So when somebody has their attention, you know that they are looking at you, or if you need somebody's attention, they will also be listening to you at all times.
Exactly. And then it says, thank you for your attention on this matter. So what does it mean when you say matter in this case? Well, matter, that's a noun. It just means like a thing, a problem, a topic, like a subject or something important to deal with, like a question, example. Okay, for example, we have, what's the matter? You look sad. Like, what's the problem? You look sad.
Right. So Jordan is thanking the reader of the letter. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So thank you for taking your time to read this letter and to learn about the problem that we are having.
And now he signs up the letter by saying, sincerely, Jordan Ramsey, right? Last time we talked about how you sign off the letter, you can write best regards, or you can also write sincerely, and then you sign off your name. This is a very polite way, a formal way to address or write a letter.
And it also shows how much you care about the situation, because the person writing there saying that they're very sincere, they mean a lot by saying that they're writing this letter because they care.
Okay, how about let's go over to Tina first, and we will be right back.
Jordan 希望餐厅主管能去跟他们的服务生谈一谈，并请他们多加留意，感谢他对这个问题的关注。最后结语 sincerely 并署名 Jordan Ramsey。我们来看看单字 attention 名词关注。The young actress got a lot of attention from the media. 那位年轻女演员获得媒体许多关注。Media 指的就是媒体。Matter 名词问题。The manager needs to discuss an important matter with the team. 经理需要与团队讨论一个重要问题。接着我们回到课文当中。
Thank you, Tina. And now we are back. Okay, so after reading this, letter from Jordan Ramsey addressing the problem that they have of bad customer service at this restaurant, I think this gives us a pretty good idea what we can do next time we face the same problem. We don't necessarily have to be mean or angry or, just confront people right away. It's also a good idea to kind of think about it. How do we write a nice letter? And then I think the manager will definitely have a talk with their waiter, right? Okay, well, hope you enjoyed our lesson today, and let's review the article again, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Dear Sir or Madam, my name is Jordan Ramsey. My family and I are regular customers at your restaurant. We love your fast and friendly service. However, we didn't get that last Saturday. When our waiter showed us to our table, he was quite rude. Then, he wasn't very patient when he took our order. We never experienced that kind of treatment before. Maybe you could talk to your waiters and ask them to be more careful. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Sincerely, Jordan Ramsey.
我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 friendly 形容词友善的、亲切的。patient 形容词有耐心的。attention 名词关注。matter 名词问题。接着我们来看文法的部分。A shows B to place. A 带 B 到某地。The guide showed the visitors to the museum. 导游带游客到博物馆。A takes B's order. A 为 B 点餐。Here are the menus. I'll be back in a minute to take your order. 这是菜单，我稍后回来为你们点餐。以上就是这一课的重点单词跟文法，那我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Welcome to Which One Fits, the game where we tackle confusing English words.
I can't wait to get started.
Today, we're going to sort out the difference between speak and talk.
Before we dive in, let's go over how the game works.
In Which One Fits, we'll read a sentence with a blank, and you have to choose between speak and talk.
So join us and challenge your English intuition.
All right, here comes your first sentence. The lecturer made sure to blank clearly so everyone could hear her. Which one fits?
Is it speak?
Yes, it is. Speak means to say words aloud, often to an audience or in a formal setting. Next one. We usually meet at the cafe to blank about life and work. Which one fits?
That should be talk.
Exactly. Talk means to have a conversation with someone, often in a casual way.
Looks like I'm pretty good at this.
All right, let's break it down clearly.
First, speak is a verb, meaning to use your voice to express ideas, often in a formal or one-way setting, like a speech or presentation. For example, the principal will speak at the welcoming ceremony to greet the new students.
It's also commonly used with languages. For instance, he can speak English and Spanish fluently.
Now, talk is also a verb meaning to say words, but it's mainly used for conversations between two or more people. For example, she talks with her friend on the phone for hours every evening.
It can also be used as a noun, meaning a conversation or a short presentation. For example, the teacher gave an interesting talk about space exploration.
You can think of it this way. Speaking is about conveying, while talking is about exchanging.
They may seem alike at first, but once you grasp the difference, you'll know which one to use.
And get this, both can appear in the same sentence. The CEO spoke about our annual goals, and we talked about potential strategies in our teams.
So, speaking usually becomes talking when it happens between people.
Right. Now you'll never mix them up again.
Until next time, keep learning.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.